Yo, welcome back to the channel. Much love to you. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. This is the channel where my wife and I, we post fun videos about our lives. We also post videos about just anything in regards of relationships, interracial relationships, or marriages, stuff like that. So basically the videos are very positive. They're here to inspire, uplift people, to motivate you just to do well in life, and just positivity. So if you're into that, if you're into positivity and self-improvement type videos, you're in the right place. That's what we post here mainly, around interracial couples, marriages, relationships, and all those fun things or topics. Anyway, long intro. If you're new here, be sure to support by subscribing, hit the bell notification, comment, like, and share, engage as much as possible. If you are returning back, welcome back to the channel. And we have social channels on Instagram. So yeah, there you go. That's the intro. 1 minute intro. Sorry about that. But the video is going to be about the YouTuber who calls himself the lead attorney. I watched some of his videos. Very entertaining dude. I must say, very entertaining. Excuse me not wearing a shirt. I just came from a long walk. Somewhat of power walking. Did some push-ups here and there. Awesome workout here in sunny Florida, South Florida. Beautiful weather. Anyway, so that's what we're going to talk about today. But not just about lead attorney, but I'm just curious in trying to understand whether he supports or does not support interracial marriages or couples. I watched and listened to some of his streams before, or videos, and he seems to be one to support, excuse me, God, interracial couples. And I really like that because I'm in a interracial couple. I'm in a interracial couple. Excuse me, I couldn't say that. My wife is from Macedonia. Awesome person, great girl, woman, excuse me. We get along great, and she's a good person, right? So that's my situation right now. But again, so this is why this means not so much to me, but why this does. This is an interesting topic because I'm in a relationship where I'm black, and my wife is white. Air quotes, but that's a long story right there also. But I'm just curious to see, does the lead attorney support people who are involved in these situations? I'm not sure. I really can't say yes or no. I'm really not sure. I've heard some of his conversations where he's discussing why some black men are actually considering to date Caucasian women because a lot of dark-skinned women have this tendency, and this is coming from him, right? And I'm sorry, not from him, but Kevin Samuels. One time I seen this stream where the lead attorney was talking to a dark-skinned woman and Kevin Samuels, and Kevin Samuels was explaining how dark-skinned women don't really compete for dark-skinned men. A lot of women who are dark-skinned claim to want to marry dark-skinned men, want to have, children with them, have this foundation, relationship, all that. But Kevin Samuels gave this example one time where he said if he had dark-skinned women inside of a room, and all these women, let's say three of these women were inside of this room to compete for a dark-skinned man, they would not compete. In terms of, Kevin Samuels was trying to see, would they fight each other to get this man, to get this prize, basically. And the woman was, and in her words, she was kind of like, not in her words, but and not in these words, but she was saying she would not participate in fighting her friends to get this man. So Kevin Samuels was basically saying, well, you would fight for a job, right? A good paying job, because that's the prize to you, right? So that means that's a lot more valuable than this dark-skinned man that you claim you want so bad. You love them, respect them, but you wouldn't fight for them like you would fight for this job, right? So what does this have to do? What does this have to do with the lead attorney? Again, I'm not sure if he supports interracial couples or not, but it's interesting because I want to say he does, right? Because he doesn't really speak against it. Like, I've never heard him say dark-skinned men should not date Caucasian women or being in a or marry them. I've never heard him say this. He probably did. Probably just didn't catch a live stream one time. But I've never heard him say this. I don't think he's one to say that. I don't think he's one to support that. But at the same time, I don't ever hear him say, you know, it's okay for a dark-skinned man to date outside of his race. I haven't heard that from him either. So that's why I'm kind of like, I'm not sure. I really can't say if he does or does not support it. But that video or that live stream where Kevin Samuels was explaining, you know, a lot of dark-skinned women don't really see dark-skinned men like myself as something of value. They would do this if it were a Caucasian man, right? Do I agree with this? I don't really know. I don't have any actual statistics or numbers or data, proof, research, nothing to confirm this is true. I don't know. This is what Kevin Samuels says. Do I agree with it? Yes, I do. I do feel that way. I do feel like dark-skinned women don't see men as something valuable. I don't really see this. I do see them. I do see dark-skinned women, and this is not to bash all dark-skinned women. Of course not. I'm not saying all dark-skinned women are like this. That's not true. But I would say most of them don't value dark-skinned men like they value a good-paying job or something they find to be valuable, or a Caucasian man or whatnot. So this is what I do believe. I very much do believe that. It's like people start to, not people, but again, I have no proof of this. But his Kevin Samuels analogy was, to me, interesting to hear him say that. That's what he feels. That, you know, and I feel the same way too. He does feel like dark-skinned women don't hold or don't see dark-skinned men, unless you're getting shot dead on the ground by a cop, like, you know, George Floyd type situation. That's when they're protesting. Now we're valuable for that. But before all that, or when that's just not going on, we're not seen as valuable for whatever reason, right? Once again, not all dark-skinned women, please. Most, not all, most do see, you know, or do live life this way, basically, where they don't really hold dark-skinned men as something valuable, but they claim they want them. But you know what I mean? So again, I'm not sure if the lead attorney, if he does support interracial couples or marriages or not, but I'm leaning towards him supporting it because he doesn't speak against it. I've never heard him say anything bad about dark-skinned men should not date Caucasian women, vice versa, Caucasian men should not date dark-skinned women. I've never heard him say this, so I think I can say I'm leaning towards of him supporting it very much. Even Kevin Samuels, I've never heard him say do not date outside your race. If anything, Kevin Samuels says more, he'll say more like stuff like, you know, a dark-skinned women claim they want all this from a dark-skinned man, but you don't, but your actions don't really reflect that. And then and this is from Kevin Samuels too, if it were 3 white women, right, who were competing for that dark-skinned man, compared to the 3 dark-skinned women, the 3 white Caucasian women would fight each other to get that man, that dark-skinned man, because they see him as something valuable. This is what Kevin Samuels says. Interesting, because I do see my wife treating me that way, right? I do see this from my wife. I do see myself as something valuable, as I see her as something valuable as well. So that's interesting. You know, to hear Kevin Samuels says that or say that is super interesting. But again, while he was talking about this, the lead attorney did not chime in and disagree at all. He agreed with everything Kevin Samuels was saying, and that's why I feel like the lead attorney may lean towards supporting interracial couples or marriages from that video alone. He just seems to be more supporting of that than against it, and I find that to be very, very interesting and just awesome. So awesome video from the lead attorney, Kevin Samuels, and the woman who was, and I'm not sure what her name was, but yeah, it was just funny how she would talk about being raised that way and all this stuff. And Kevin Samuels was basically saying, no, it has nothing to do with being raised that way. It's just the fact that you don't hold dark-skinned men of value. If it was a job or a white or a Caucasian man, you would fight your girlfriends or your friends to get that prize. You wouldn't do that. And she said it. She would not participate in fighting her friends to get that dark-skinned man. That means you know what I mean? It is what it is. So this is coming from Kevin Samuels. and lead attorney basically agreeing with Kevin Samuels' analogy or story is very interesting. It is super interesting to hear such information from both gentlemen. So I'm just happy to see more YouTubers are not one of these pathetic individuals of trying to tear down interracial couples or marriages, because for whatever reason, how they were raised or how they see life, I just find people like to be super pathetic and just sad. A lot of them are not married or single. They're just mad, typing away on keyboards, trying to bash, YouTubers like myself or videos. And I'm happily married. I still go home to a happy, beautiful household. I went to Europe. I saw her family. So much fun. I was there for like 2 weeks. This is not to bash dark-skinned women whatsoever. Like, that's not the intent of this video. I have no interest in doing that. I love all women. I'm not here to bash anyone. Again, that's why I said most black dark-skinned women behave this way or see life this way, of not valuing dark-skinned men. A lot of them do value dark-skinned men. We just don't hear from them too often, but it doesn't matter. The point is, they do exist, and we love you and thank you. And your husbands thank you, or your spouses, fiancés, boyfriends, whatever, they thank you as well. And we value you too. So it's not here to bash anyone in this video, but it's just a very interesting conversation, again, about the lead attorney, to see if he does actually support interracial couples. And according to Kevin Samuel's story or his analogy, I think the lead attorney does support interracial couples from that piece of content alone. Super interesting. But thanks for watching this video. Thanks for listening. That's about it. Again, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you haven't done those things yet, and I'll catch you on the next video. Be safe out there. I'm going to take a shower. Peace out.